then at this point, I do have to get the control cavity routed out. And just for giggles, I want to make sure here that yeah, so that pin right there, get that pin right there, that works out good. French cookies. Okay. Okay. Now I want to check something here before I mark this. I don't know, I get the impression that this is not big enough to be the control cavity cover plate. Give me a minute.
A few minutes later.
Alright, well, once again, the template is not correct.
Did they wrote LP on
I
it.
have no idea. This was just some seller on the internet. This is a learning moment, kids. You can get templates cheaper elsewhere, but make no assumptions on how accurate they're going to be.
Good thing you caught that before.
So if I use this, I'm going to have to make my own template for routing the control cover shelf. Oh, wait a minute now. Hang on a second here, because I think one of the other templates has a weird looking one that'll work for routing for the controls. Yeah. So it won't be exactly like a Les Paul control cavity. But going that way, the plate's going to cover, which means then I can use this, I think, to do the shelf. Because if I I've steered a little bit more. But, yeah, okay.
So you got a plan now? Possibly?
I have a part of a plan.
Like what percentage?
Like 12%.
12%?
That's a fake laugh.
It's real!
Totally fake. Now, as much as I would like to do this on the drill press, I think because, once again, my order of operations was off, I'm gonna have to do it by hand. Because now I don't have a drill press table that's stable and wide enough for me to put bench cookies on to be able to stabilize it while I drill. So, alright, so the trick here, I think I'm going to start digging the hole with a Forstner bit. I'm going to get down just to where the Forstner bit is, you know, below the surface of the back here. Then I'm going to take a small bit, I'm going to run through the front, or smaller bit, run through the front so I can see where the front is. Then I'm going to switch back to the Forstner bit and finish the depth of cut. The reason I'm going to do it that way, if I just go with the Forstner bit and put a piece of tape on the shaft here, assuming I got it right, so I get the hole deep enough without getting too close to the front, which I did in my last build, and I want to do that. If I drill this down to the point where this is down in the wood far enough that it's recessed in there, then drill the shaft hole for the jack, I can then see through the hole to see how deep the top is, how thick the top is, how deep my hole's getting. It's not going to wander because it's going to be guided in place because it's now going to be recessed into the back. And then I can slowly jog my way down to depth, theoretically. I think my logic is sound. So, okay. Alright, also I'm going to drill through the front with this smaller bit.
What's the point in that?
Huh?
What's the point in that?
So when I flip it over, if there is a little bit of blowout, tear out, like that, it ain't gonna be a big deal because I'm gonna go back the other direction with the 1/2 inch.
So you drilled the small hole from the other side, so you have a guide here to drill the front hole.
Exactly.
I got it now.
A little bit of tear out. Still. I haven't sanded anything yet, so I think,
You're gonna be alright.
yeah. Now, I'm just gonna have to be real careful here. I've got about 1 inch to go. I'm hitting maple.
Don't go all the way through.
Thicker on this side than it is on that side because of the carve. think I might have to use a shorter shaft jack. No, I got a ways to go yet. Because my threads are like 3/8 of an inch from the top yet. If this looks like guesswork, because it is. Sorry. Once bit, twice shy. Being very, very careful not to blow through the front, like I did on the last one. Well, the last one was a router, not a drill, but same principle.
So how much further do you have to go?
Just a little. But what I think I'm going to do at this point, what I did with the previous one is I used a Dremel and a burr and just kind of recessed the switch shoulder a little bit rather than digging the hole a little deeper. Of course, if I do that, then I got to use a short shaft jack. Maybe I'll just go a little deeper with it. Your confidence is very reassuring.
You can do this. You got this, honey. You can do it. I'm nervous for you.
I'm still gonna have to use a short shaft jack on this.
Why? Is that the one that you have there?
No, this is a long shaft. And also, I think I'm gonna have to take that shoulder, that curve down just a tiny bit right here when it comes time to sanding, so it sits a little bit less cockeyed.
So, I'm asking because I don't understand. Why can't you use that one? Why do you have to use a shorter one?
Because it's poking out the back. I can't get a cover on it because it's too tall.
So it's too long this way.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
This is like for an actual standard Les Paul, which is thicker than this one.
Oh.
This one is not quite as thick as an actual Les Paul. Yeah, because right now that right there, that piece is about not quite a quarter, maybe a quarter inch, but up here it's damn near 3/8 of an inch, a little more than that. So I'm gonna have to take that hump right here down a little bit when I sand. All right, now to the controls. And I think I'm going to do the same thing on the controls. I'm going to drill down just far enough to where this recesses. Then center pin every one of the pots.
So are you going to do sanding after you have all the holes cut out?
I want to do sanding as one of the last things because otherwise I will sand and sand and sand and sand and sand and sand some more, and then I'll have to come back, do something else, and then I'll have to sand again. So
Didn't Sweet Tea say sanding is the last thing you want to do because otherwise you're going to have to keep sanding? Something like that last night?
possibly. We'll give him credit for it. Okay.
Making sure there's no cookies under there.
Right. Okay, so just for giggles, I'm going to make absolutely sure I'm not out of my head. I'm not. Okay. See, you know, when it's repairing guitars that exist, it's like, okay, there's a hole there already, and if CTS pot doesn't fit, you just waller it out a little bit. But when it's new construction, all of a sudden my brain's like, what's the diameter of a CTS pot? So I don't know. Ben said run it in reverse first and then go forward, and that's supposed to help with tear out. It's not helping. Maybe I didn't run it in reverse long enough, because that seems to do better. Nope, still. Okay, here we go, last one. That one had a lot of tear out. Okay.
Now what are you doing? Or you gotta get that deeper.
Yeah, and then I gotta blow out the middle.
Use a router for that?
Probably, but I think I'm still gonna use Forstner bits to get some of it out of there before I go to the router.
Okay.
Alright, so I'm still going to be using this template. I'm just not going to be using it in exactly the place that it lines up with the body. Because I needed to pick up that annoying little locating pin. So, I did that. And that's not going anywhere. So, now, the only thing is, I need to avoid that spot right there. Or I need to put a piece in there Is that UPS?
UPS.
That's for me. It's the hardware for this.
Want me to pause this?
No.
Alright, you just keep doing that. I'll pop this out.
I know it seems weird that my wife is on a first name basis with the UPS guy, but that's because of the fact that she used to work in shipping and receiving in the plant that she works at here in town, and so yeah, she dealt with him on a daily basis. So. Momentary unboxing video. The heck?
Oh. UPS is getting cheap with their packing.
I guess.
This is all the backing for the labels.
Oh, whatever. Alright, so we have a chrome tailpiece. We have a chrome bridge. We have chrome tuning pegs. We have chrome knobs. I bought extra screws because I'm starting to run low. I have a chrome jack plate. Pickup rings. I have a deep and a shallow pickup ring, and then I got chrome pickup ring covers. So I decided to go chrome, if you didn't catch that. And then I also have my Duncan pickups. I think I showed that in a previous video. And I got chrome Duncan pickup covers because I ordered them. I could have swore that I had checked that I wanted the ones with the chrome covers on them, but I didn't. So that's not a big deal. I can do that. It's not that hard. You just got to make sure that you add a little bit of solder so you bond it. I think I might need to go to a shallower cut bit. Oh, yep, okay. So, knobs go through. Knobs don't go all the way through.
Hold it up again so we can see that. Alright.
These are long shafts. The thing that a lot of people don't get about long shaft pots, and if you don't know this trick, I'm gonna teach it to you quick. If I can get it back out of here.
Wiggle, wiggle.
There we go.
Wiggle.
Okay. When you buy a long shaft pot, like a CTS long shaft pot, if you have a top that is, 3/16 of an inch thick or something like that, and this is just standing that far up out of the top, if you look at that, it's like standing up that far out of the top. What you can do, these come with 2 nuts. So you put the first nut on, set it down to wherever you need your depth to be. Put your lock washer on the inside, so on the back side. Push it through the top. Then you put your top washer on and your second nut on. And now that's holding on to your top. It's not sticking, 3/8 of an inch through the top. So basically this second nut that you get with these is a depth adjustment, okay? I know a lot of guys who are like, oh, all I got was long shaft pots and they stick way up too far, and adjust that bottom knob. Okay, so put that first nut on. You can adjust that up or down however you need it for your height. The only thing you need to watch is if it's a really skinny body. Ibanez had, what was it, the Geo series or something like that were super thin guitars. That might sit too high in the control cavity for that. But for most guitars, Les Pauls, Epiphone Les Pauls, Gibson Les Pauls, most of your other, Schecters, ESPs, things like that, this works great. So that's why you have those 2 locking nuts, why you have those 2 nuts there. The first one goes on, that's your depth adjustment, then your lock washer, then on the top, your smooth washer, and your other nut to lock it down on the body. So there's that for today. A little bit of edumacation, if you didn't know.
Yay.
But anyway, we have our cavity routed. I gotta figure out what's wrong with that bearing on that router, bit. It leaves like a 32nd of an inch of a lip there. I'm not going to worry about it. It ain't that big a deal. It's not going to affect my electronics going in there or anything. But it said flush cut bearing, and that's not flush cut. That's like plugged toilet cut. There's nothing flush there. Okay, so anyway, but with that, that's done. That's done. I need to drill from the pickup cavity into where my switch is going to be. And I have purchased a set of super duper long drill bits just for this occasion.
Don't you have to go from your pickup cavity down to your...
Yes.
Holy buckets.
It's like a horror movie thing. Anyway, so if I can get down here at a really low angle, I don't know if you can see that in there.
Okay.
Okay. And then we also need one going all the way down. Okay. Which gets me from the neck pickup to the bridge pickup. And then I need a little bit larger one. That's gonna go. Oh, sorry. This one's freaking me out because this is pert near how I blew through the back of my last build. So if I aim right here, I want something thinner than that. I want the lowest possible freaking angle I can accomplish here. Rather than try to gorilla punch this with a large bit first, I'm going to go with a small bit to try and get me there, and then ream it with a larger bit. Oh man, now it wants to creep too. I'll still be able to hide it under the control cavity cover, but it pisses me off that I did it again. It'll be tight. I think I can get all the wires through that one I just drilled without having to make it bigger. Thank you so much for tuning in for another episode of My Madness. Click like, subscribe, and thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.